Hello YouTube gang, welcome back to Anime in a Nutshell. Today we will be reviewing and rating Vinland Saga, because I figured why not review a show that focuses on Vikings, while I play Valheim, a Viking related game that I'm totally fucking hooked on. As usual, this rating will be based off its story, animation, character and character development out of 10, along with the MC bitch meter. There'll be some spoilers here during the review, and your immersion may be at risk. You've been warned guys, now let's get into it. Gang gang. Vinland Saga at its core is a revenge anime, as young Thorfinn loses his dad to a group of mercenaries led by Askeladd, who was contracted by Floki to assassinate Thors. From here, Thorfinn is taken in by Askeladd on the basis that if Thorfinn accomplishes something in battle, he will be granted a one-on-one duel against Askeladd for his revenge. The thing with Vinland Saga's story is that while it focuses so heavily on revenge, it is just so much more than that. This anime just reminds us how cruel reality really can be. This show does not shy away from any of the pillaging, raping, and killing that is done, and that's the beauty of it. There's no good or evil, it just boils down to survival of the fittest. Vinland Saga for story is getting a 9.2 out of 10. There was just so much thought put into the story. It isn't just like, hey, I'm gonna get revenge because you killed my dad. There's just so much more than that. This story, as we watch Thorfinn grow up, raised by the man who killed his father, and honestly, it's just heartbreaking watching Thorfinn go to being such a happy boy, all the way to a stone cold murderer, the exact opposite that his father wanted for him. This story even references characters that are historically correct. Take Thorfinn, who was a real human being who settled down in Vinland. Even Thorkill and Prince Canute are also historically accurate when it comes down to them existing. Sure, a lot of aspects about them are made up, however it definitely helps with making the connection. As for animation, it was done really well. It never felt lazy. When the characters were fighting, it had great impact. When Thorkill tosses his axe and cuts through like 4 fucking human beings, you could really feel that oomph that brings the scene to life. There were no still frames, and for the most part, the animation was fluid, which is why animation is getting a 9.3 out of 10. The art style of this anime really pairs well with the Viking setting of the story, and the fight scenes of this anime had so much impact and fluid movement in them that it's hard to find any problems with the animation. And don't even get me started with Vinland Saga's first opening. All I have to say is survive the prophet, good fucking job, you guys killed it. Now as for character and character development, let's just say Thorfinn is kind of a edgelord. Just kidding. Kind of, because I mean, at first glance he really is just a moody teenager who always seems upset. But while watching this anime, I never really felt that way. I didn't really feel that Thorfinn was a edgelord. He never gave me Sasuke vibes. And I think this was due to how well the story focuses on displaying the struggles that Thorfinn goes through, a lot of them in silence. It's those looks on his face after he sees the woman who rescued him at the shoreline while Askeladd's group was coming to attack. Thorfinn really is just a sad anime character, and I mean, he really doesn't have much of a personality and emotion. He really speaks at all. However, there's some moments in this show where you can just tell that he's broken. I mean, I don't blame him. He was raised by Askeladd, the same character who murdered his dad right in front of him. And speaking of Askeladd as a character, he's just super fucking complex. I mean, is Askeladd the antagonist of the show? Or is he the protagonist? Or is he the fucking messiah? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I mean, sure, he killed Thors, but he was just contracted to do so. Hell, he even respects Thors, which is why he raises Thorfinn. Askeladd by nature is wise, cunning, and some might say manipulative. Actually, forget about some might say. This straight up just uses the shit out of Thorfinn. He's like, man, if you kill these I'll let you fight me. But at other times it seemed that he cares for the boy. The characters in this show have so much depth to them. It's hard to put it into words. While these Vikings who are usually thought to be soulless murderers struggle with their own problems. Which really just brings out the beauty in all of these characters, whether it's Prince Canute teaching Vikings about love or watching Thorfinn stray off to a path of killing that his father tried so hard to keep him off of. We also have some other characters like Thorkill, and I mean, not much to say here. As a character, he is just fun. He basically just always wants to fight, and he really appreciates a good battle. Not to mention he's fucking good at it. This guy just straight up treats other Vikings like baby food. As for Prince Canute, his character is interesting to say the least. Most of his character is just based off the development that he goes through, as in the beginning he really is just a scaredy cat and his dad essentially deems him useless, so he sends him off on a suicide mission. But that may have been the king's biggest mistake, as Canute matures drastically from being sent away. One really can't say exactly what caused him to mature. Was it him realizing that the one who loved him was dead, or that his dad never loved him, or was it just the dream that he had with Ragnar? or talking to the priest right after that. Was that what caused this immense development? All of his development certainly did happen kind of fast, however his development is super intense, and I just loved it, as he really starts to assume more of a commanding and persuasive tone, one that is more fitting of a ruler, and he's now coming for his father's head. Character and character development is getting a 9 out of 10. I wish I can rate these characters a little higher than a 9 out of 10, because they kinda deserve it, but in a technical sense, these characters are flawed. Take Thorfinn for example, he barely speaks and doesn't have too much of a personality, but the story and animation paints his character in such a way that you can tell exactly what he's thinking. And then there's Askeladd, who's just an amazing character from the start, and he's already been fully developed from the beginning, as he more so or less carries the story of the anime. I for one have never seen such a compelling antagonist in anime history. It's just impossible to hate this guy. Now I know you guys have been waiting for this moment. What moment? For you guys who don't know, well, it's time for the MC Bitch Meter. This MC Bitch Meter will be covering Thorfinn. I wanted to count Askeladd in this, but he broke the meter because he's a fucking Chad. Now Thorfinn is getting a solid 3.5 out of 5 for the MC Bitch Meter. And well, while the show focuses heavily on revenge and hides his edginess behind a brick wall of sadness, it's clear that Thorfinn is kind of a edgy teenager who just wants to duel with his second daddy to get revenge for his first daddy, and Thorfinn just gets played so easily. Let's take this fight against Askeladd that seems to be going quite well for Thorfinn. But then Askeladd's just like, hey man, what's your daddy's name again? And then Thorfinn's just like, you bitch! Then gets all riled up. Thorfinn as a character is quite complex, however as you can see it's clear that he ain't no Askeladd Chad, and he does lose some points for the MC Bitch Meter. Overall, Vinland Saga is getting a 8.9 out of 10. This anime was just fucking fantastic. I for one am not too big on the whole Viking part of history, however this anime just did it so well. The fight scenes are on point, and the complexity and layering of these characters just makes the show a phenomenal watch. I know it may seem like I'm fanboying a little too much, but this anime just screams quality, as it was done without taking any shortcuts. Well guys, that's it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and slap that like button like Askeladd slapped Prince Canute, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Peace out.